So this video will basically be like a part 2 of the previous video that you guys seen. And in this video, we're going to be talking about meritocracy, right? A merit-based system that many people think should be at the forefront of everything. A lot of people say that, yeah, bring back meritocracy, you know, how America used to be, right? Some people literally saying that the past America was based on meritocracy. Bitch, where? When? How? Meritocracy is a scam and has always been a scam, and it has never. Where? When? How? The whole. Do, do I need to take y'all through history? Huh? Oh, let me look. Do I need to take y'all through history? When has America been merit-based? I'll wait. When the hell has America been merit-based? The whole country was built on the back of slaves. Everybody come around, come sit at the table. Black, brown, white, purple. Let's everybody come sit down at the table. Come on, we need to have a conversation. We need to have open conversations like this, right? All men, all from different creeds, religions, colors, what have you. We need to have open dialogue because some people got this shit fucked up. Some of y'all are y'all selectively thinking about whatever the fuck you want to think about instead of what actually happened. America has never been. First of all, I'm gonna make another video about the whole God and Christianity shit. Like, America has never been a God-centered country. What the fuck did y'all get? Name a point in history, a point in time that it seems like we were just so Christian, that we were just so everything was centered around the Lord. No. But anyway, that's a separate conversation. America has never been merit-based. Never has, never will, never been. The whole country was founded upon free labor, slave labor at that. Most of these corporations that we see today were built and founded in a time period where certain people weren't even seen as human beings, right? Ideas and intellectual property stolen, right? So I'm just trying to figure out what merit. Some of the most pristine universities. Y'all can look this shit up yourself. I've already done my research. Some of the most pristine universities, right, were built on the backs of slavery. So much so that some of these universities had to pay back some of the families or give the families or the descendants, right, free admission or free tuition or whatever they decided to do. But merit, based on merit, no. No. And then let's continue. And then let's move into another time period, right? Let's move into another time period where not only did we have slavery, but then we have another time period where people were locked out of the job system. People were locked out of finding a great job to provide for themselves and provide for their families based on the color of their skin. Am I missing something? And I'm not by any means saying that people of today should be held accountable for their forefathers, but we have to acknowledge history. We have to acknowledge the things that went on because it seems like people got shit fucked up. People got shit confused. What meritocracy? What meritocracy of the past? What merit-based system in America? It has never been about merit. Never. So much so that you have you have multiple generations of broken families based upon redlining. That you have multiple generations broken up because of the prison industrial complex, because men chose the streets, because they weren't allowed into the workplace based on the color of their skin. These men wanted to work, they wanted to provide for their families, but they couldn't provide. But when push come to shove, just like any human being, you got to do what's necessary. Let's talk about it. People had to do what was necessary to provide. People were locked out of the workplace. People were stripped away of the opportunity to own homes. They were stripped away at the opportunity to get ahead. Businesses burned down, right? You want to talk about the lynchings? What else do y'all want to talk about? Listen, I'm not for the whole victim mentality, but we have to acknowledge history. We have to what merit, what time in history do y'all want to talk about merit? Huh? Y'all want to talk about the lynchings? Do y'all want to talk about the concentration camps? Right? Do y'all want to talk about the government literally step in segregation and Jim Crow? Do y'all want to talk about that when blacks weren't able to pull out loans to own homes to get to get ahead and to own homes to gain wealth, to get on the same level as their white counterparts? Which one do y'all want to talk about? Which one of the after pill is the whole truth and the entire truth? So help me God. And I usually don't even touch these topics, but I just see a lot of stupidity today. I just see a lot of fucking idiocracy today. Idiocy. I just see a bunch of retards walking around here like just not acknowledging shit and throwing out false claims. And we need to bring back the merit-based system, right? It's not about the color of your skin, but the content of your character, right? This is what it's based upon. This is what it needs to base. When? Now? Now? Because back then it was about the color of your skin, right? And I'm blessed enough to have been born post 1960s, right? Very blessed that I didn't have to deal with, racism, that I didn't have to deal with lynchings and a Ku Klux Klan and all of these guys, right? I'm blessed, highly blessed, right? But even I know that the historical context that a lot of people are spewing is just plain bullshit, right? And then that's just one aspect of it. Now let's talk about nepotism, right? Let's talk about nepotism. It's never been about, oh, this person can do the job, right? When has it ever been about this person can do the job to the best of their ability? No, a lot of these people are getting into the job because they know somebody. A lot of people are getting into these jobs because they fucking somebody or they're in a relationship with the right person, right? Even I have benefited from that in some form or fashion, right? Some jobs I've gotten is because there was somebody high up, right? There was somebody high up that pushed my name through, a relative or, extended family or what have you. I've even benefited from this, right? I'm able to do the job, right? I'm able to do what's on paper, But as far as you talking about uh every single qualification, no. That's bullshit. What meritocracy? What meritocracy? See, a lot of these guys get online, right? I'm not gonna call no names, but a lot of these guys get online and they just be talking. They just be talking, and they sound smart, but they really dumb as shit, right? They only want to acknowledge one side of the truth and not the whole truth. But I'm gonna acknowledge the whole truth. I don't give a fuck, right? We all brothers in my eyes. We all, it don't matter, black, brown, blue, purple, white, right? The after pill is about linking all of us together, right? But we have to sit down and have like family, right? We have to sit down and have hard conversations. We have to sit down and have difficult conversations because a lot of y'all got shit fucked up. Merit-based system, meritocracy, bitch. The world ain't even founded on a merit-based system. Since when? It ain't about merit. Winner takes all. Winner takes all. The winner writes history. The winner writes the history. The winner writes the rules. The winner determines who's the losers. The winners decide who gets to rise to the top. The winners get to decide that who gets to. The winners decide. It ain't based on no motherfucking merit. Merit? Merit? Don't make me hit the soldier boy. Drake? Merit? Merit? Bitch, where? I'm going horse. Going in on y'all ass because it's like, bro, this world has entered into literally idiocracy. This world has literally entered into stupidity. You have mass groups of people not acknowledging certain sides of history, certain sides of the truth, and only spewing one side like it's just the absolute facts when it's not. This world is not founded. Human beings are flawed. We're all flawed. Right? I'm flawed. You're flawed. Right? Give a man a little bit of power. He's going to take advantage of it in some form or fashion. Right? But now everybody want to holler meritocracy. Why? Why now? Why now? Let's call a spade a spade. Is it because white people are not doing as well as they used to? Huh? Let's talk about it. Is it because Eurocentric countries are no longer dominating how they used to? Is it because colonialism is finally dying? Is Now I'm not saying that DEI should just be, oh yeah, hire somebody just because they're gay, hire somebody just because they black, hire somebody just because they're Indian, whatever the case, hire somebody just because they female. No, that's not what I'm saying. But like I said, I pay attention to people, I pay attention to trends, I pay attention to behaviors. And it seems like when other people start doing well for themselves and the past leaders, which, are white people in this sense, when they're not doing as well as they think that they should because of the things that I just brought up, right? The whole system was never based upon merit. Like, I'm not knocking anybody for the color of their skin. Okay, let's get that, right. We got all people here who watch the after pill. right? But we have to have honest conversations. My white brothers, my black brothers, my brown brothers, come on, let's have honest conversations. White people aren't doing as well as they once did, right? They're not doing as well as they once did, and now that it seems like other cultures are dominating, other cultures are getting ahead, other people are getting ahead that are non-white. Now this is when I start hearing about DEI, right? This is when I start hearing, and I'm not saying that it don't exist. Now I have seen some bullshit. I myself personally have seen some bullshit. I've seen it. However, it paints a horrible picture because it's like, well, post pre 1960s, black people weren't hot. Black people were exiled out of the workforce, couldn't find proper jobs just because of the color of their skin. Like pre-civil rights, black people couldn't own homes because banks wouldn't loan to them. Blacks couldn't stay in certain neighborhoods, right? They were redlined, right? They were cast aside and then purposely put into projects, right? And then, but then, if you push somebody to the outskirts of society, you take away jobs, you take away the men, right? You take away the leadership, you throw the men in prison because they couldn't find no job, so they chose criminal enterprise, right? So you take away the men, you take away the leaders, you take away the fathers, you leave the women in vulnerable situations. So they relied on the government, right? Which is, you know, this is declassified information, right? They relied on the government, and the government literally gave women money to not have the men at home, right? Because the men weren't really working like that because they couldn't find the jobs, because a lot of jobs they couldn't get because of things like racism, right? Merit. What merit? What merit? That wasn't based on merit. That was based on evil. That wasn't based on merit. That was based on racism, right? And then we're seeing we still see some of the remnants of that today. You're talking about post 1960s. Now black people can put themselves in prime position now, right? And it hasn't even been 100 years post Jim Crow. Like, you still have people alive that remember Jim Crow South, right? You still have people alive that remember, businesses being burned down just for the hell of it. Just because another group of people didn't want to see this group of people do well. Was that based on merit? No. No, it wasn't. And I'm not even the type to play the victim card. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But it seems like DEI didn't even come to the forefront of the conversation until a certain group of people started to not do so well anymore. This is when we start to see it. And like I said, I'm not by no means saying that DEI should be a thing, that people should be hired strictly based upon nothing else but what their sexual orientation or gender or color or what have you. That's not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. Right? But it's just these CIA words, these trigger words that I'm just now seeing come to the forefront, and it's just programming words, right? Because I'm sure some people probably thought I was DEI. Some people probably thought I was DEI, but check my paperwork, baby. Check my paperwork, my boy. Nah, I'm far from the DEI. If anything, your bitch ass is the DEI, right? Because I'm outdoing a lot of people on paper. I'm outdoing a lot of people on paper. So a lot of people probably thought I was DEI just because of these programming words, just because of these CIA words, just because of these trigger words, just because they only looking at it from one point of view, right? So you have people who are probably coming in and maybe a DEI hire, right? They may be a DEI hire, but they meet the qualification. It's a lot of different aspects to it, but let's ask ourselves, why the fuck did DEI even come about in the first place? Let's ask ourselves that. Because we're going to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help me God, right? Why did DEI even come about? Well, I just explained to you the history of things, right? If it was based on merit, if it was strictly based on merit, do you think we would have DEI? I don't think so. If it was strictly based on on your character and your ability to accomplish the job, do you think we would have DEI? No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't. But people are only looking at it from one side and thinking, oh, they just trying to hire this person just because it is. They just trying to hire this person just because of that. Oh, it's only because they black. Oh, it's only because they're Indian. Well, for the longest, it was because you were white. Oh, y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. People ain't ready for these conversations. This is an after pill. For the longest, it was because I'm not calling both sides are wrong. All sides are wrong. If I'm going to tell the truth, I got to call truth the truth, and I got to call what's wrong is wrong. If you just hiring people based on the color of their skin and not the content of their character or whether they can get the job done, then you're wrong. But let's talk about why some of these things even came about in the first place. Because the system wasn't based on merit. It was because people were getting hired and people were being thrown to the side, right? Based upon nepotism, based upon family members, based upon who they know, based upon the color of somebody's skin. Meritocracy is a scam and it never existed. So that's why you have these DI come up. That's why you have people being hired based on this, because people feel like you can't trust other human beings. And like I said, now that it seems like you got immigrants, whether it's blacks, whether Indians or what have you, now that it seems like, other people are getting ahead and everybody want to claim DEI, right? Now that it seems like, other people are getting ahead, everybody want to claim DEI when it's not white people. And by no means am I saying that white people should be discriminated against. It's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. However, we got to look at it from a 360 point of view. We got to look at it from all aspects. We have to understand each other. We have to understand why this happened. We have to understand that there were literally reactions to reactions of a situation, right? We have to understand. I'm all for merit. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. People should be hired based on qualifications. People should be hired based on whether they can do the job to the best of their ability. But enough of this DEI bullshit. Because everybody ain't DEI. Right? And y'all know this. Some of y'all was hired just because you were Indian. right? Some of y'all were hired just because you were black. Some of y'all were hired just because you were white. This shit has been happening for forever. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. Here's another video. I may do a part 3, to this whole conversation. Let me know if you want a part 3. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.